So this is what we want to do today. We talked about well, the other day we talked about data type. You understand the different data type. We talked about operator. Different kind of operators we have. So and we talked about when we are creating this data type. We talked about an object, right? You know what object represent. Anytime you see a calling brace like this, it's an object. So it's worth mentioning that an object can equally have another object. So object like this. So an object. Let's say uh, employee now is an object. So let's list out that okay employee uh, have a payment, right? Each of the employee can have a salary. They can equally have address. And when they were talking about salary, they can have bonus, they can have main salary. You understand? Or let's even talk about the address. So let's create an employee. Employee is equal to anytime you see this curly brace is what? An object. So I can say the name of the let me say first name of the employee. Let's give it a value. Let's say uh, the last name of this employee. Let's say is production. The age of this employee. Let's say is 10, and we can now say maybe the phone of this employee. You can give some kind of phone number. We can say email of this employee. So document at shy.ng. Shy.ng. You get it? I try to shift it, press tab so that to move. Now, this is an object. This is an object, right? Where these are the keys and the value. This is the key and value. So, and if you want to access any of the key, say, let me say console.log.
You've not closed the brace, have you?
I've closed it here. Let's say console.log employee into dot what first name. I told you you can do. Oh, so you can say employee dot first name to give you for, or you can say log dot employee. You put this square bracket. You say first name. You type the key there. You see that you say you use this dot operator to access it, or you put this. You type the key there. It will still give you the same value. So let's try to say object node object dot what js. You see it still gave us the same value. So if it is age I want to log here, that means it's going to this one is giving me what first name, this one is giving me the age. But a situation where I have object inside object, do you know what we call an atom in physics? It's small indivisible element. So an object can have object, and inside that object can have another object. Inside that object can have at least it's unlimited based on. So as we say object oriented, any stuff, anything you think that it is your decision that you, I mean it is your responsibility to think about it that oh, I need to do it this way. So if you think that human being now, if I say your name now is Fumilayo, you are object. If I say okay, this is your first name, your email address, this. There are subsystems inside your body that equally have different parts as well. Like your hand now, it has how many joints does it have? What is the size? What is the length? So you can't be say my hands length, my hands color, my hands type. You understand? You rather give it hands then begin to declare its own property as well. Now like in a typical system we used to have let's say let me put we used to have address. You understand? If you say address, address are in group. So we can say okay, your house number, eh? You can say the street, you can say the state, you can say the city, you can say postal code. They are all address related objects because with this is what encompasses your what address. But you won't it will not be nice to say if you say house, if I not say house house number, if I put two, it doesn't add any meaning because this object is entirely different from this is your personal data. You understand? This is personal data. It's actually different from, you understand? Hmm. So instead of that, you now put what address. You now make it to be an object itself. So inside the address, you now have house number. You understand? I have street. And see street is a string. And you can say Monira Tuku. You understand? I can say state. I can say okay, Ogun. I can say city. Eh? I can say Abeokuta. You understand? I can say postal code. I can say 110. It is number. But anything that is string, you need to put it in a code. When you know street is a string, you give it the correct what data type. You see address now. Which space? No, it's a string. It's inside a string. You can't type it together. A string, you separate it. If it is a gangbone stuff, you have to still separate it. Now, you see this. You see this. Let's say this is an object, right? Let's now say that um, uh, this is an object and this is another object inside it. Do you see inside this object, which is when you see this polygon, you can still have another what object? Yes, inside this address if it's required for you to have it. So if I want to access that object now, I can say console.log. If I say employee dot address, it will give me the JSON. I mean, it will give me the address object. You understand? If I now say employee dot address dot state, can you see it? It's going to give me the state. That is, you need to first get access to the sub object. Then you now go into the other property, and I can equally say into state. But I will not say dot. I can say employee dot address into state. It's the same thing. Say I say employee dot first name. Employee into. If I don't want to use dot. If I don't want to use dot at all, I can say employee. If I don't want to use dot at all, I can do it. Employee into what address into. It's the same thing. I say console dot log employee dot address dot state. It's the same. Let me just put a comment. Same as this. Can you see it? Employee. This one is a comment to not run. It's only this one that wrong. You understand? That is object inside what? Another object. So let me give another example now. Let's say we have a constant student. Let's give all this student. Let me just stop at this phone number.
Feel it now.
Mm,
Okay, okay.
this is student. It doesn't mean that it has to be on a straight line. You can even bring it down. You understand? So now students have a department, right?
Mm.
Department should be another object. So we now have name of department. Let's say LIT. Um,
That's cool.
Location of the department. Let's say also uh, school, right? School. You can say
Yeah, okay.
school of
Different.
science
Okay.
or school of science. You understand?
Mm.
You can say HOD Ade Adebola Jo. You understand? This is another what
Okay.
example. Do you get it?
If
Hmm. And do you know school? School is another this thing on its own.
another object.
Is it school? Say you have faculty. Hey, is it faculty as the same thing as school?
Mm.
You can go ahead to say
Faculty of physics.
faculty is another object. Name. I can say faculty of what? Science. I can say Dean. Eh?
Mm-hmm.
Aliyu Mohammed. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Faculty form. I can say. Sure, you see it. Inside department belong to what? Faculty.
Okay.
You see now, student is now the parent to what? To department. No, no, no. And department,
It's a parent.
student is a child to what? Department.
Department.
Department is a child to what? Faculty.
Faculty.
Because inside the faculty, because which means that this faculty you now have as many departments.
That is, it's supposed to be that department is a type to student. Do you understand?
Mm.
Then faculty is a type to department.
No,
So
no, it's not a child in this case. It's
then,
opposite side in a
uh,
program
okay.
because it's supposed to be a child. Yes, so let's just leave it that way. Supposed to be a child. I don't want to
Confusing.
confuse you. So definitely, if I want to access, I can say console dot what
Log
log. Uh,
student.
I can say student dot department dot name. You understand? This will print lit, right? I say console dot log student dot department dot faculty dot what name.
Mm.
And this will print
The name of the faculty.
faculty of science. You get the gist.
Mm.
Can you see?
Mm.
Mm. So the name student dot department dot name. And if it is the name of the student I want to print, so console dot log student dot name, right? Student dot first name. It should give me the first name of the what of the student. Can you see it?
Mm.
So the first
Okay,
name
yeah,
of the
that's true.
student,
That's
which is
for the
this.
student.
Let's separate it that console dot log. I just want to put something to separate it
Okay.
so that you see that this is where just to something so that
Can
we'll be able
come
to
to
recognize
option.
that you can put a name
Log.
that object inside another
Object.
object. I can decide to put demarcation to it so that I will know that okay, this one is object inside another
Object.
object. So so that is another side of it. When you are creating object, you are creating object. When you are working with with a program, when you are working with any problem, you'll be the one to identify the object. Which one should I make as another object inside this object?
Okay.
You know a combination of two or more variables. Before I taught you this, the combination of two or more variables is what we call what? An object. So imagine if I want to say it's combination of two or more variables, because we combine first name, last name, this and that. That is what we call it,
Okay.
object. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to introduce you to something. A combination of two or more objects is what we call an array, or a combination of two or more data is what we call what? An array. Let me
Okay.
give you an example. Let's say constant.
Estimated.
Let's just create another file. Array.js. Let me give you an example. Let's say constant. If I want to list all the states in Nigeria,
Okay.
you understand? If I say Ogun, Abi,
Country.
I can say state Ogun, right? I can say constant OS. Let me just use the initial. You know, I have to type this thing
Yes.
as many. I have to be declaring constant,
Yes.
constant,
Yes.
giving them array, giving them, but I can combine them into a single stuff. But I can't create object for them. I can say constant state. Well, I can't create object because
Cornelio, no?
no, I have to say OG and
Yeah.
Ogun. It's still not
So you'll be
meaningful.
creating it for all of
So
them.
I can combine a string, I can combine double, I can combine integer, I can combine date together. I can combine boolean, you understand? And I can equally combine object together. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So instead of that, I can come here and I say, okay, state. Let's say we want to state all the states in Nigeria. I can say, if you put something like this, no, sorry, I can say equal to this. Anytime you see this square bracket,
Mm.
anytime you see this square bracket is what? Array.
Is it different? Okay, the other one that we're using is that of pop.
Anytime you see this, you know this is an what? Object.
Yes, I know this is an object,
Let me say
but there's another one.
object. But anytime you see this, it is what? Array.
Array.
This symbol represents an array.
Okay.
This one represents an
But
what?
there's another
An
purple one.
object.
If I don't want to use this, and you say, if I don't want to use this, you said I can use. If I don't want to use this, I can use something like this for object. Other console log.
No, then that one is different. This is console log.
Okay, the purple
Okay,
one.
this one is console log.
Okay.
This one is to print, is
Okay.
to access the property of object. You can access the property of object in two ways,
Yeah.
using dot operator, which is this,
Mm-hmm.
or using this square bracket.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different from creating an array.
Okay.
I want to create an array. I can now say Ogun. I can now say Oyo.
Yeah.
I can now say Osun.
Sure.
I can now say
Okay.
Kano. I can now say Ondo.
Yeah.
I can now say Imo. I can now say
Yola.
Kwara. I can say Yola. I can say
Yeah.
Kaduna. You understand?
Yes.
This is what we call it array.
Array.
What data type is this?
Hmm.
So it is an array of string.
String.
You understand?
Yes.
But I can decide to combine number together too. It will take it. But we are not going to that. Let's just create array of the same data type. Now, array is zero index. Array is zero index, which means that if you want to, in the other time when we are creating object, if it is object, I can say state dot name. So I can say console.log state dot name.
Name.
Let's say name. That means I want to access
The
the.
name.
But in array, there is nothing like, it's not possible like that. You access array by by index. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? Each of these elements in an array has a position in an array. So you access them using the specific position. And the position of array start from 0. So element at this phase will start from starting on index 0. So just like row number. So Array start from row number 0. You understand? So element here start from what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you have 8 elements, you should know that the index is 7 because you have to start from what? 0. You understand?
Yes.
If you have 9 elements, you should know that index is what? 8. You reduce it by what? By 1. So if I want to access the first element is going to be what? You use the identifier, you now say state into 0. We give you the first element. Sorry, it's supposed to have the same element. State into what? 0. So which means it will give you, sorry, what happened? Let me see. Okay, node array dot what? Yes. Can you say state it to what? Okay. So if I want to print this one, will print what? Let's just put this one will print. If I say console dot what? Log state into 5, 6. So that means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. State into what? 6. So it will give you what? Quara. So if you run it, can you see it? So that is how we access the element. Well, I'm giving a string now. We can have an array of objects, but I don't want to go there now. This is just the array. Now, this array now have method. You understand? You know, there are cases whereby you don't want to, you may, if you have millions of elements in an array, in that we don't know, because you know that a state Nigeria is between 1 to some. If you have millions of elements, you don't want to be accessing them by index one after the other. But at times, how do we count the number of the element? There is a method. There is what we call method. Object, we call it have a method. We can call it function. There is a function that will return the total element in this what array. I can, if I say, and that function is length. I say console dot what log say dot length. We give you the total element in the what array. You see that it gave you what 9, but it's not going to start from 0. It's just going to count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not that it's going to start from 0. It's when you want to print the element, you know that the row number starts from what? 0, but the total number of the element is 9. If the total number of the element is 9, the row number, it doesn't mean that, let's say you 9 people lined up. I start that, okay, you have number is 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. That means the maximum row number there will be 8. But if I want to count it physically, I'll say, you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not your row number. You understand? This one will give you the length of the what element in the what. Yes, that's the method. It's a function, or you call it a method. Method of what array. You understand? If I create this, let me say state 2. Let's redo this one 2, and let's say console of state 2. What will it give? What is the length of the state 2? 3. And 3. Can you see it? And if let's say we have this array state 3, it doesn't have any element. You understand? Let's print the length of state 3. 0, because there is no any element there. You understand? If you are trying to access If I say console.log state 3 into 1. It doesn't into 3. It doesn't have any element to
Yes.
throw error. You see, it's give you what?
When I
Undefined.
undefined.
Because there is no element. If it is another programming language, like Java will give you in array index out of one exception. The other one will give you this. The other one will give. You understand? Mm. So that is the stuff. We are going to stop from here,
Yes.
except if you say you still want us to proceed.
No. Yes.
So we talked about this object. We talked about this what
Array.
array. So let's stop from here so that you can